Since you clicked on this video, you're probably already familiar with the first tool, so I'm gonna get that out of the way. That's Notion. Notion is at the heart of basically everything I do, from my photography business, from my YouTube channel, to even my cars. I keep a page for kind of every important aspect of my life. So my car maintenance is all structured in one page. I got my torque specs for my repairs. I have different maintenance scheduling, different parts that I might want. So that's kind of like, another interest of my life. When it comes to my YouTube channel, I have a page dedicated just for that, to organize all my video projects, different ideas, sort them by different themes, level of importance, and then kind of like a status of if I'm filming, if I'm writing out, taking notes, stuff like that. Different sponsored opportunities, because since the channel is growing, that is something that I'm fortunate enough to kind of deal with now. So that's organized in there. And then for my photography business, I have another page that organizes all my current projects, completed ones, and I try to keep kind of everything to have a reference, and then I can go back to them if I ever need to. What I really like about Notion, and probably everybody else, is that you could build your own page. It's kind of like Legos for your workspace. So you could put blocks wherever you want, organize it how you want, come up with your own systems. I'm not going to go too deep into Notion because you guys probably already know what it is, but let me know how you structure it, what you use Notion for in the comments, because I've always been a big fan, and I try to put everybody in my life onto Notion because it's such a fundamental tool if you want to stay organized. The second tool I cannot live without is a notebook. So I know we went from the digital notebook, but now I'm talking about the physical notebook. To me, Field Notes is the best. This is what I use. They sent me a little kind of a restock, from seeing my pictures on Instagram, and then they ghosted me. So I'm gonna have to probably buy my own in the future. I did buy my own. I actually bought this one, bought a couple packs, but they're my favorite. I love the size of the notebooks. I love the paper quality. I'm a fan of the graph paper, so that's what I opt for. I think the graph paper is the best because if you want to draw little boxes, if you want to draw something, you kind of have that scale. And it allows you to write in whatever orientation you want. If you want to flip it landscape, you could write like that. Flip it portrait, you could write like that too. What I like about using a physical notebook as opposed to keeping everything in Notion or using Freeform to sketch stuff is that sketching things is best done with a pen and paper. So I don't like using the cursor to draw stuff out in Freeform. Not my thing, just the way I prefer to work. But where the notebook really excels for me is with the short-term to-do list or the short-term reminders, stuff like that, where you don't want to start a whole new page. You don't need long-term references. You just need short little things that are jotted down that you can go back and reference, either for the day or for little side notes of a project you're working on. To me, that improves my workflow a lot. Might not for you. This is all just preference. To go along with this, the third tool that I can't live without is this pen.
Sell me this fucking pen right here.
This is a pen by Wingback. It's called their mechanical pen. They saw my stuff on Instagram. They saw my stuff here on YouTube. They want to stand it out. So big thanks to them. This is my favorite pen. I use it all the time. This is what lives in my little tray up here. I grab it, write down anything in my field notes. This is the pen to get everything done. This is a very high quality pen. It's made in England and I love it. It's a good size. You can keep it in your pocket. You can carry it with you, as you're in your EDC. I just keep it up here. This is my go-to pen to get work done. It weighs a lot. It's built like a tank, and the ink cartridge inside is actually manufactured by Fisher Space Pens, so it's a really high quality writing experience and a high quality feel when you touch it. Kind of a weird way of saying that, huh? It's also really fun to fidget with because the mechanism is very satisfying to open and close. So that's another bonus. It's kind of like a two-in-one. It's a toy and a pen to get all your work done. Anyways, this is my favorite pen. This is my go-to pen. Thought I'd mention it since we're talking about notebooks and writing stuff down. On to the next item. All right, so we're going to pivot back to digital. The fourth tool is Apple Reminders. Now, the reason why I don't use Notion the way I use Apple Reminders is because of the snappiness and the responsiveness of Apple Reminders. My iPhone is right there, so I'm not going to say it. But when I say, can you set a reminder, the iPhone will set a reminder, and it can even remind me when I'm home at a certain time, or I could just have it jot down a note. If I'm doing something and I get an idea, or I get something like, oh, I got to do this, I tell the iPhone, set a reminder, it sets it, and then when I get home, if that reminder requires if it's a video idea, let's say, if that requires me to expand upon that idea, I'll take it, I'll put it into Notion and create a page, and then, start planning, start working on that. But Apple Reminders is such a great app because of the integration within Siri, and good thing she didn't activate. So that's why it's unique to this. That's why it's such an important tool, is because it makes reminding yourself, writing stuff down a whole lot easier if you're driving, working on something else with your hands or whatever. So that's why it's in this list. The fifth tool is the HoldX by Delta Hub. This is a tool that has improved my life ever since I started using it. What it is it's a magnet mount for your SSD. So you put one end on the SSD, the other end on your MacBook or your laptop. It doesn't have to be MacBook. You put on the back of the lid, and then it allows you to mount your SSD when you're using it so it's not flopping around. For me, this was a big improvement because I'll frequently use my laptop on my lap, editing off it, and the thing is just, this would just be dangling off the side. I don't want that. It's annoying. It's just annoying. That's really what it is. It's really just annoying. And this is a whole lot cleaner of a solution than using Velcro or tape and jankily mounting it onto your laptop. So this is a really big improvement. This will actually tie into another small little tool. These last two tools are going to be more of a psychological tool, and that's going to tie into why this is such a big game changer. So like I said, the last two are more of a psychological tool. So the sixth one is my goals and aspirations. Now, why is this a tool? Why is this important? Because what you have set in your mind, the goals you want, the path you want to be on, and the end goal you want to achieve is very important in my mind, or in my opinion. Because if you look at your life and you set yourself a certain goal, a certain aspiration, and you understand the importance and what you need to do to get to that point, it's going to keep propelling you. It's going to keep having you build that discipline in order to achieve that goal. So you set yourself a standard, you set yourself goals, and you set yourself aspirations, and that's going to definitely help achieve other things and get all the work done you need to get those goals. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like that's an important tool to have. And if you don't have that tool, take some time, sit down, think about it, and set those goals. Last but not least, number 7 stems from a quote that I saw, and I'm going to paraphrase it, but it was something along the lines of, a man should not stay at home, a man should leave the house. And what I got out of that is that there's a lot of distractions in your house. There's comfort in your house. If you get out, you remove those distractions, you get to lock in a lot easier. That's what I got from it. So sometimes when I'm not working here at my desk, I will go in my car and I will work in my car. And that's where this comes in. Because when you're working in the car, you got your laptop on your lap, this thing's gonna flail around. So this allows it a whole lot easier. That is not proper English. That allows me to work a whole lot easier in my car. And that would be a mobile workstation. If you don't have a studio that you can go to, which I don't, if you don't have another place to go to other than your home office, when I'm sitting here working at my desk, I'm still in my home. I still have all the distractions of my home. So sometimes if I feel like I'm getting distracted, I'm not kind of focused in on what I'm doing, I will take my laptop and I will just go and work in my car. You can go outside the city, and it really does make a big difference, and it really removes every single distraction possible because you're really just there by yourself with your laptop in the car working. It sounds a little weird, but trust me, it works. Try it out and let me know what happens to you in the comments below. Hopefully you don't get kidnapped, because something going out of the city and work by yourself. So that basically concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know which tools of mine you think are ridiculous and which ones you think are good that you're going to start adapting. Or maybe, what do you use Notion for? I'm sure many of you already use that. But just let me know in the comments below what you thought. I'll see you guys in the next video. I have a really exciting one cooking, planning everything out. So, subscribe, like this if you want to see more. Peace out.